For today's review, we are looking at Dark Flash. This version of Dark Flash is based off of the Speed Metal comic. I've never read Speed Metal. I do own the Speed Metal Build Wave, which is ironic because I have no idea what the story is, but I have that entire wave. And this version of Dark Flash is essentially, from what I can understand, an army builder figure. I think that was the original intention behind it, maybe, because the image on the data profile card makes me believe that that's what it was. This figure released as a Walmart exclusive at the time. I don't know how you would army build this. That would be horrible. Walmart exclusives are already hard to find, so maybe they backtracked the idea. I have no clue. As for the character himself, if you're familiar with the Grant Gustin Flash TV show, this character has made an appearance on there, I believe, a few times. He's also made an appearance on Legends of Tomorrow. He's also in the comics. Point is, this character is basically the Grim Reaper of the Speedster world. He is created by the Speed Force to act as some sort of, I guess, like a balancing sort of thing. That is what I can understand of him. He has no identity, so he's not based off of anybody. He's not an existing speedster that died and became him. So, yeah. As for his accessories, there are only 2 accessories that he came with. These lightning pieces that are technically supposed to clip onto him. Usually, they give 4 of these to every figure. This one does not have 4. I don't know why they only gave him 2. Because that is lacking in the accessory department. As for the other thing he comes with, it is, of course, your usual data profile card. And as you can see, let me just hold that still. You can see that there are 3 different head portraits, right? You have the main head portrait right there, which is front and center. You have these 2 on the side that are completely different. And I don't know what this photo is supposed to be. Like, do these head sculpts actually exist, or was this like a render photo? But there are rumors, I don't know how true they are. I heard this a while ago, that there is supposed to be a 3-pack set being released where they are going to re-release this original figure with these 2 other figures that have the different head expressions, I guess. It hasn't happened yet, so I have no clue what's going on there. So yeah. As for the back, you have the read-up, so let's read it. He does not have a real name, so you know it's unknown. When the speedsters are so fast, how could death possibly catch them? A dark amalgamation seemingly of the Speed Force's own design, with little known about it. It comes clad in black speedster suit with a rotting undead face. It collects the dead of those gifted with Speed Force or with speed to return them to the Speed Force at the end of their lives. That still doesn't stop the speedsters from trying to outrun their own personal Reaper. So basically, I guess you could say that this guy is supposed to be for balancing the speedster sort of world. So there is that. As for the figure itself, let's take a look at the head portrait. You do have a nice looking head. He does have that expression where he's, you know, he has his mouth open. I used to put him on the shelf with his hands like this, where he's looking up, like he looks like he's confused, because he kind of gives off those expressions. And I like the way they colored his skin tone, because if he's supposed to, you know, represent death, he does look like a zombie, right? Like the skin tone does give off that whole like decomposing sort of like feel. So there's that. And I do like that gold and black sort of color they have on this suit. There have been other variations of him wearing different colors. There was the black and red sort of color scheme, which looks cool as well, but this one's also not bad. Yeah, so there are many versions, I guess, of how he's been drawn or colored and what he wears. He does not have any sort of running hand. He doesn't really need it because technically when he's chasing after them, you would think that he's probably running like this, like he's trying to grab you and, and take you back into wherever he's going to take you to. Like a zombie, right? So these hands are actually good for like the whole like zombie vibe that this figure gives me. So I do like that they included these hands. However, as I've said with the accessories, if you're not going to give them interchangeable hands, how hard was it to just give them 2 more of these? I mean, every other speedster's had like multiple of these. Why this one? Why does this one not include it? It's really strange. He does have texturing going on his suit, as you can see. There's a little bit of texturing present, so it's not completely just all black with no texture. There is texturing in the gold areas as well, a little bit, and then his emblem is not printed on, it's actually sculpted on. So, yeah. But that is basically the aesthetics of this figure, because there's really not much going on in terms of his like overall paint. Everything is just pretty simple. So as far as articulation, which I'm going to zoom out, let's take a look at that. His head does look up. He does look not exactly down unless you do this. He can look side to side. He can tilt his head side to side. His arms can go, all the way. They can also go back all the way. They do have double jointed, right, which is really good. Not a pretty gap, though, on the arms. He also has hand swivel in the peg area like this with sculpted ball joints. So the movement there is pretty good. And as you can see, he has a very loose torso. So mine is loose. I don't know about your copy if you have this. He does have this kind of movement, which is really good. He does have waist articulation as well. Yes, he does. So yeah, not too tight. He can do the splits pretty good. I do like that. Can he kick out? He can kick out pretty good. Wow, you see what I mean? Some figures can kick out better. And he also has double jointed, I believe. Not this side, because that side is... Oh, excuse me. I guess these legs have never been like heated up all the way. Let me try. Here we go. Yeah, sometimes the joints are like that, where the top one works, the second one doesn't want to work because it's tight in there. So he does have double jointed. He does have sculpted ball joints down here, articulation with the feet, and your usual toe articulation. So again, just your standard Mcfarlane articulation on most DC Multiverse figures. And that is basically it for how much you can articulate with this guy. Can you get him into running poses? You probably can. I mean, I've done it before in some photos. I don't have them anymore, but he can get into running poses if you're good at balancing the stance. Now, does he fit well with other figures? If you want to put him in with, some of the suspects here, like the Black Lanterns, right? You can. It definitely will work. It's not a bad idea because they're all, I guess like mixed in with this whole like undead vibe. So you can definitely do that. But if you want to put him with the speedster shelf where he's chasing after speedsters, you can also do that too. But my suggestion is if you have extra pieces of other lightning effects that you're not using that are clip-ons like this, try to give it to him so it looks better than just having 2 on his feet or 1 on his feet and 1 on his arm. It looks kind of weird. So yeah, and with that said, this is our look at Dark Flash. There's really nothing else to say about this figure. He's a nice figure, but he should have not been released as a Walmart exclusive. That is my final verdict on that, because if this was intentional to be a army builder, store exclusive is not the way to go. That's a bad idea. With that said, if you found this video informative and you want to like this video, you can like it. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can also do that too. You don't have to. In the end of the day, I make these videos for fun. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.